Segment of preseason coming into an end today. You guys are heading back to Kansas City. What are your thoughts on the first month or so?
You know, it's been 3 weeks here, maybe a little bit longer than we normally would do in the first phase, but because we're getting ready for CCL, it was imperative that we get off to a good start and we kind of build the base that we wanted to, and I think we've achieved that here. I think the great thing is that we had basically 3 teams here that everybody got the same opportunity in regards to the same number of games, the same minutes in each game. So I think from the way we want to build a team to get ready for the season, and more importantly for Toluca right now, I think we've achieved our good foundation this first phase.
And so thoughts on the 3 games today, 2 victories and a draw in the final game?
Really just focusing on us, trying to make sure that in all the phases of the game, when we have the ball, when we don't have the ball, set pieces and in transition moments, that we're all on the same page, if you will. And I thought that each group was a good example of how we want to play as a team. And I think we keep getting better and better and more sharp, as every day has gone on here. And I think today, playing 60 minutes this early on is not easy, but I thought the guys did a really good job of managing it, and more importantly, actually playing well in all the segments.
And then you guys will be back in about a week to play Phoenix Rising in, I believe, 2 75-minute games.
Correct.
What's kind of the game plan between now and then?
Yeah, so we go home for about 5 days. First 3 days the guys are off, spending with their family, just kind of getting away from everything, be good for their bodies and good for their minds, and then we'll train 2 times next week in Kansas City, and then we'll fly back here, have a day of training, and then we play our first game, which is, like you said, 2 75-minute games, and then a week later we have 2 90-minute games against 2 MLS teams. So and then a week from there we're basically playing in our Toluca game again in the CCL.
You said so the last games of preseason, there's 2 90-minute games. I had thought, maybe I misunderstood, that it was Houston and FC Tucson. Is it now 2 MLS teams that you'll play?
I'm pretty sure it'll be 2 MLS teams.
Any idea who the other team besides Houston
Can't remember.
Okay,
yeah.
No worries. And then, so I wanted to ask too, obviously the big news, Ike Opara traded, lots of talk about it, fans, of course, having their reactions. A lot of people are concerned about the athleticism of Opara, that he's gone. Will Fontas be able to replace that and allow Zusi to kind of drift forward as much as he typically does? What have you seen so far between Fontas and Beasler, and even Barath in the partnerships?
So every player has different qualities. Ike was and is an incredible athlete for sure. Fontas is a different player, and I'm not comparing the two of them. They're just different. They're different in all aspects. And so my answer to it would be really simple, is that whenever a player, whether he's injured, caught too many cautions, goes away with the national team, transfers, traded, whatever it might be, as a club, your objective is always have other players that can fill those shoes. And so I believe with the current roster we have, we can fulfill those shoes and maybe at times be even a little different in a good way. So I don't really have any concern at all.
All right, and then a rumor came out today about a player, William Opoku-Mensah, from the Ghana Premier League, linking them to either your team, a couple other MLS clubs, and then even the Swope Park Rangers. Have you been in contact with them? Any words about him coming over to the league?
Yeah, with Swope Park Rangers, it's a player that we've already been in contact with for a while now. So yeah, it has to do with the Swope Park Rangers, not the first team. Okay,
all right, fantastic. And then wanted to follow up, kind of completely switch gears here. So Marc Dos Santos used to be the Swope Park Rangers coach. Now he's the head coach at Vancouver. Just want to kind of get your thoughts on him getting his first MLS head coaching job and what you kind of expect to see out of him this year.
Yeah, first off, I'm very happy for him. I told him that personally. He's put the work in over the years. He's been at all the different levels. He's had success. He's a very serious coach, works hard. So I'm very happy because I think he deserves it. So I'm excited for him because I know this is something that he's wanted for a while, and it's always good to see when people put their work and effort into things, and they get rewarded. And so from that perspective, I think it's great for him.
And then one final question for you. So the squads have remained split throughout preseason. There was some confusion as to whether they'll stay split as the season starts when Champions League and MLS play kind of overlap. Was that kind of the plan, or is it depending on, of course, results?
The plan all along was that we were going to have 2 to 3 full teams here, and everybody was going to get the same type of load every day, and then also the same exact number of minutes in each game as we were building up in our progressive state. And it's been 15-minute increments from game to game to game until we achieve 90. And so when you look at where we are, we've achieved that aspect. As far as like who's starting and all those other things, yeah, we have so many games this year. The whole idea has been to put a team together that really had, at a minimum, 2 players in every position that we felt really comfortable with, and we have that. And so the team's going to have to be flexible because of how congested the schedule is going to be, just even without CCL. The fact that the league has been decreased by a month, right? And so you got still the same number of games, so you got to push all those in there. You got US Open Cup, and then you have obviously CCL that you add on to it. We're going to have to be flexible in the fact that we're going to be rotating players around quite a bit, and the guys know that. And different games are also going to need different players because of the opponent, because of the number of games in a week, because of travel. There's just a lot of things that are going to be in the equation this year, going to be much different. Where last year we were pretty fortunate where we played like week to week, and we had a great build-up. It's kind of going to go away here for a while. And like I said, we're just going to have to be really flexible and adaptable as we move forward, but I have confidence in all the guys.
Thanks so much, Peter.